Hi, it's Eric Martin. So, adaptive change takes time. This process of learning, loss, and the experimentation that's needed as we try on new ways of working, new processes, new services, new relationships. This takes time. And it requires as well a certain level of what we call disequilibrium. Now, disequilibrium is just a fancy way to talk about the anxiety that people feel around change. Sometimes it's an excitement as people discover new possibilities, new capacities in themselves and others. At other times, it's a nervousness, it's a fear, it's a resistance. That disequilibrium has to have a certain threshold for there to be any impetus at all for change. Below that threshold, no change happens. It's business as usual. But the change that we're talking about here often have an adaptive component. So if there's not a sense of urgency, if there's not a disequilibrium that folks are feeling that compels them to engage, you'll have a really hard time getting any of the change to happen. Now, conversely, if there's too much disequilibrium, too much change happening, people will break down, organizations will break down. They revert to a fight, flight, or freeze response. So the trick with adaptive work is to keep it in a productive zone where people have enough impetus, enough heat for change, but not so much that they're having to get into fight, flight, or freeze. With technical work, the heat, the disequilibrium, tends to start high, like fire. The house that's on fire literally is quite hot, but through the application of technical expertise, the heat comes down fairly quickly. With adaptive change, oftentimes you don't realize that there's a problem at all until the heat, the disequilibrium reaches a certain level. And so the work there often is about keeping the level in a productive zone and avoiding what we call work avoidance. And work avoidance means not that people aren't doing work. Oftentimes they're doing a lot of technical work that isn't solving the problem, but they're avoiding the adaptive work.